Hey guys, this is René. Welcome back for another programming tutorial on this channel. And I was very happy when I realized that the MetaTrader 5 now has new free indicators. I think it was some of the updates in the past. But if you go to the navigator and go to indicators, you should find this free indicators folder if your MetaTrader 5 is on the latest version. And here we can find a bunch of channels actually and some other indicators. And for example, the Donkian channel is now part of, is part of the MetaTrader 5 by default. Until now it was not, which was a little bit weird because it's a very famous indicator. And I made some programming tutorials with this indicator already, but maybe I will make more using the default Donkian channel from the MetaTrader 5. But today in this video, I want to have a look at the Keltner channel together with you guys, because I heard about this indicator in the past already, and it can be used, I think, to work out some like reverse to mean strategies. And this was also requested in the comments from time to time, so that's what I want to do in this video. So I quickly want to create this program in the integrated development environment of the MetaTrader 5. And yeah, if you want, just follow along. So what I want to do here is, first of all, of course, I want to create a new expert advisor. I call it Keltner channel YT for YouTube. You can choose any name you like, and then I click next, next, and finish. And there it is, the brand new expert advisor that I just created. So the process of working with indicators is pretty much always the same. Like the first thing you want to do is, I think, check if there is a default function for this indicator. Or before we do this, we will create the handle variable, because we will need a handle to work with this indicator. And then we will create the handle, the actual handle that holds the information about this specific indicator. So what you can do is you can check if there is a default function like Keltner, but there is not. I mean, there are default functions for a lot of the default expert indicators, but for the Keltner, there seems to be no default function. In this case, you can always use the iCustom function, which can be used to work with custom indicators, for example, from the mql5 market, or also any indicator that you have in your in any of the subfolders in your indicators folder. So what you want to do is you want to say for which chart you want to use the program. And yeah, as always, I like to create a time frame input for this. And let's say it's period H1 by default, and the user will be able to change this. And then we just use this variable. So the next is the indicator name. So here it's important to say free indicators, and then, because we have to provide the exact path to this indicator file. And the path always starts at the indicators folder in your MetaTrader 5. So if you go to your mql5 folder, you can see there is this indicators folder, and from this folder onwards, you have to describe the path. So here we are in the free indicator subfolder, and then the name is Keltner channel.ex5. So I can already copy this here, and then we provide this exact path in our code. So we write free indicator slash Keltner channel ex5, and then the next is here in this foreshadowing of the parameters. We just see 3 dots, which means that we have to provide the parameters of this indicator in the exact order as they are listed in the indicator itself. So we have to provide the periods, the EMA periods, the ATR periods, and the ATR multiplier. So what I like to do again is create some inputs for this. So I want to say Keltner EMA period, Keltner ATR period, and I think last one should be a double value. Let me check again. Yeah, it is. ATR multiplier. Keltner ATR multiplier. So let's get the default values. It's 2010 and 2.0. So we have 20, we have 10, and we have 2.0. And the last parameter I think is not relevant for us, because it's just yeah, it just defines if we want to show these numbers at the end or not. And yeah, I mean, you can use it, but I would just hard code it with false. So now we have to provide these parameters in the right order. So Keltner EMA period, Keltner ATR period, and Keltner ATR multiply, and then I just hard code false, so I don't see the prices in the end. So this is for getting the handle. And now in the onTick function, we can get the actual price data. Here we can see, and it's always useful to open the data window for this, which you can do by pressing Control and D on your keyboard. And then you can see the values that this indicator has. And you can see for every bar we have 3 values: the upper Keltner, the middle Keltner, and the lower Keltner. And we can assume that the upper Keltner has index 0, middle should be 1, and the lower should be 2. So this is relevant. Keltner up, Keltner middle, and Keltner down. Oh, and these have to be arrays. And now what I want to do is let's maybe get, like, how do we even set up the strategy? I think since it is a reverse to mean strategy, we usually have 2 options. First of all, we can trade immediately if the price drops below the lower or the upper channel. I mean, jumps above the upper or drops below the lower. And then what we can do is we can also wait until the price, like when it was above the upper channel, when it drops below the upper channel again. So these are pretty much 2 options. And to figure out the exact point, I think we always need 2 values for the upper and lower line. So what I want to do here is I say copy buffer, and then we have handle Keltner. Buffer number is 1 for the upper. Starting position 1, count is 2, and then we store it in the Keltner up array. And then we pretty much do the same for handle Keltner for the middle, which is buffer number 1, and the lower line, which should be buffer number 2. And this will be stored in the Keltner down array. And also, it kind of makes sense to do this only once per bar. Did this already in the last tutorials a lot. So I like to use a timestamp variable, for example, and then you can just get the time of the current bar, which you can get by using the iTime function. And then you check if the timestamp variable holds a different value than this time 0 variable, and then you update the timestamp variable. So this is a way to make sure that everything inside of this if statement control structure, it's only processed once per bar, at the beginning of a new bar actually. So what we can do now is we can also get some, let's get some close prices. Let's get the close price for the last bar using the iClose function, and let's also get the close price of the previous bar. Because now we can go ahead and create some signals. Let's first of all check when the price drops below the Keltner channel, and then we immediately want to open a position. Also, if the price jumps above the Keltner channel. So we check first if close 1 is greater than Keltner up at index 1. And also we want to check if close 2 is smaller than Keltner up at index 0. And this will be our buy signal, and we can pretty much just copy this and turn around some of these operators and change the array here for the comparison. And then we already have this signal for the sell orders. So next up, for opening the positions, we can include the trade.mqh file. Just makes working with position openings a lot easier. And then I also like to use a global object variable of type C trade to open the positions. So what we now want to do is, and maybe let's already go ahead and create some inputs here for the lot size, for example, some TP points, and some SL points, something like this. And now we can go ahead and calculate the, let's first of all get the ask and bid price, because I want to use this for the calculation of the TP and SL. So here we just get the ask and bid price. And now what I want to do next is calculate the TP for a buy position. It will be, of course, ask plus the TP points multiplied with the point value for this specific symbol. And then we have ask minus SL points multiplied with point for the stop loss. And then we can use this trade object that I just created. And we can open a position, just with all of these variables, like the lots from the input list, then the ask price as the position open price, then the stop loss and the TP. And let's not use a order comment for now. And then I can pretty much just copy all of these lines and do the same thing for sell operations. Just have to adjust these calculations. And of course, here we want to sell at the bid price instead of buying. So that's pretty much it. So let's run the program in the tester to see how it is working so far. And then we can also have a look at the next, the second version of trading this Keltner channel. So these are both like pretty basic. So there is my tester, and let's go with this Keltner channel program that I just created. And you can, of course, use this in any symbol you like, pretty much. I can just go with gold and test it for the current year. I would just go with the default settings. Let's just see how the program works. And there's a problem. Not allowed. Wait, I'm not trying to optimize. Let me do a visual test. So now let's go. Start a visual test for the program that you just created. This is what I usually do really quickly when I create new programs. Just to see if my code is working correctly as I intended it to work. So here we can see it's loaded in the tester, and we should see if the price closes above the upper line. Oh, I want to see a sell order, but I think I messed up the programming. Now we have the buy order. But I mean, this is also something you can do if you work with a Keltner channel. You can trade the breakouts, which might work just fine. I mean, there's no right or wrong, right? So you can do whatever works for you. And you can see here, like, just the first few trades, and can definitely be profitable if you trade the breakouts like this. I mean, it's completely up to you. But let me fix this to get the actual signal for the reverse strategy that I wanted. So here we want to let's if I buy and we have the TP plus the TP points, let me just exchange the trigger here like this, and then we should see what I actually wanted to code. So let's test it again, and now we should see that at the with breaching the upper channel, we should see the sell order, and there we are. And with breaching the lower channel, we should see the buy order. And then, it is just set up like this. I don't know if TP and SL are actually correct. Do we see 500 points for, let me have a look at the history in stop loss. Oh yeah, I think it's correct. Yeah, it seems to be correct. Yeah, if we fast forward here a bit, you can see now the strategy is a bit different. When we jump above the upper channel, or we close above the upper channel, we open with the candle opening of the next candle pretty much. We have this TP and the stop loss, and of course the values should be modified most likely because it's a very close TP and a very distant stop loss here. So maybe you would have to play around with these settings a bit. But I mean, since we made these input variables, it's very easy to play around with this. So we can just say, let's do, for example, something like this with a TP of 500 points now and a stop loss of 2,000 points. So we give this trade a little bit more space to really breathe, the chance to make more profits, and a little bit further stop loss. So we should not see the stop loss as often. And you can see, I mean, you would have to do some optimizations and stuff, but that's how it is. We see a lot of small profits, of course, and we see some bigger losses. And you would have to test this or trade it in a live account actually for a long time to see what in the end will be the bigger portion, the profits or the losses. But so far it looks quite fine. Definitely something, I mean, actually something you might want to work with, because in 2024 this mean reversion strategy, which is very simple at this point, would have worked very, very good. In 2024 it looks super stable. There were one month of drawdown here, a bigger drawdown, but the rest is looking just fine. Maybe let's wait until this backtest is over, and then here we have a little bit longer drawdown period. So you might need to add some more code, maybe filter or play around with the settings a bit, but you can see it can definitely be profitable for trading it like this. So what I want to do next is I want to show you how we can trade not immediately if we close outside of the channel, but when we go back inside. So what we want to do is we want to check if the last close was for a sell order, we want to check if the last close was above the Keltner channel. No, we want to check if the last close was below the Keltner channel and the previous close was above. So actually we just have to turn around these two comparison operators, I think, and this will make the strategy a whole different strategy. So you can see once you set up your program working with an indicator, for example, it's super easy to just change a few, let's say, comparison operators, for example, and get a whole new strategy. And then you can test again. And that's the power of programming, pretty much. Like, you can test so many things by just, and so quickly by just changing a few things. So you can see here, this is exactly what I wanted to code. Like, we had this close outside of the Keltner channel, and then we go back inside, and then this is our signal. With the next bar, we open the position, and we hope for a take profit, of course. And that's how this strategy now performs. Or let's maybe also check a buy signal. But it's working. So here, close below, then close inside, and the buy order is executed. And you can do another long-term backtest, of course, to see if this is better or equal to the previous version. And you can see it can also work out a while. And now we have to do the same test to figure out which of these two versions would have been better in 2024. But this is something that you can do on your own. So after this test is finished, I will just show you the code again. And that's pretty much it. This is a really quick and easy example for a working Keltner channel expert advisor that you can use for testing. And you can make some modifications. Also make sure before you use it in a live account, you should add some safety mechanisms. If the PC crashes, for example, or if you want to use it in an account with other expert advisors, maybe you need to do some adjustments. But if you really want to learn about MetaTrader 5 programming and everything you need to know, also how to make your program safe and how to write more complex programs, you can always check out the link in the video description, and you will find a link to my website where I have a programming course exactly for this purpose. And that's it. So 2 quick strategies using the Keltner channel, and let me show you the code again. So first of all, we include the trade.mqh file just so we can use the ctrade class for position opening. Then we have a bunch of inputs for the positions. We have a bunch of inputs for the Keltner channel. And then we have 3 global variables. the handle for the Keltner indicator, of course, the timestamp that we use to check if there's a new bar, and then the object variable for the position opening. Then we create our handle for the Keltner channel indicator. We have to use the iCustom function for this because there is no default function for the Keltner channel. The path is important because the Keltner channel is in the subfolder, which is named free indicators, but this way you can address the file, and then we just provide all of these input variables here so the computer knows what specific indicator we want to look at. Then in the onTick function is the rest of our code. Here we first of all check for a new bar. Then we get all of the values for the Keltner. We get the close price of the last two bars, the bid and ask price, and then we check like just for the signals. In this case, we check if the last close of the last bar is above the Keltner channel value at the last bar, and if the previous close was below the Keltner channel value at the previous close. Also, you can do a lot more stuff. Like, let me show you one last thing. I don't know if this even makes a difference, but you can of course also use the Keltner, the middle Keltner. For example, you could say I only want to search for buy positions if Keltner mid at the last bar is above Keltner mid at the previous bar. So you have a sort of trend filter. And then we can also check if Keltner mid at the last bar is below the Keltner mid at the previous bar for the sell position. So this is an easy way to use the Keltner middle line as a trend filter. And now if I start the same test again without like changing anything else, we should see again a different result. So super easy to just get a bunch of different results when you work with indicators like this. So here, for example, we can see there was a buy signal, but the trend was short, so we did not trade this. And I don't know if this is making the program better. I think it's just filtering out a lot of, almost all of the signals, which is probably not really great. Yeah, we barely get any signals now. So maybe you would want to use a Keltner channel on a different time frame for this filter maybe, or yeah, do something else. But yeah, it's super easy to just play around with the code as you see here. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and yeah, play around with this program, with this indicator, and I hope that you like it. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. Good trades.